Hello, fellow egoists. Be honest. What was your first thought seeing the word hunger? I swear, if it's fast food, we'll need to fix your mindset. However, today's video is about Bluelock's ideas of awakening, hunger, and 1 into 100. Timestamps and disclaimers are found in the description. Beware of spoilers in general. For this video, especially the manga chapters to round about 43. So let's not waste any more time for the intro and instantly start with the video. Let's dive in the concept of awakening. Ego tells the players that moments of real growth only appear when everything is on the line. Win or lose, rise or fall, it is inside that chaos, inside that pressure, where a striker's ego is forced to evolve. He says that when a player is pushed to the edge, when they feel like they are about to break, that is exactly where transformation begins. This is the sight he has been waiting for. Now is the time for the players to prove themselves and to show the moment their ego awakens. Ego then explains what he means by awakening. He makes it clear that it is not some miracle, not a sudden supernatural power, not a new skill appearing out of thin air. Things like that do not exist in reality. Awakening occurs after one has accumulated consideration and experience. It is learning, the kind that comes from trial and error, from pushing your limits in the pursuit of victory, until the fragments of your past successes finally connect. And when that happens, the ego blossoms. Ego tells them that an awakening is the moment you finally understand who you truly are. Now let's dive in the analysis of this concept. An awakening in Bluelock is not a miracle. It is not destiny. It is not a sudden spark of genius that appears out of nowhere. Ego strips all of that away. He shows that awakening is the natural result of pressure, the outcome of being pushed into situations where hesitation means defeat. Because when a striker is cornered, when the game demands more than they currently are, their ego has no choice but to evolve. Awakening is the point where instinct and experience collide. Every failure, every adjustment, every moment of doubt, all of it stacks together until the player finally understands the shape of their own ability. It is not about becoming someone new. It is about uncovering the version of yourself that pressure has been trying to reveal. The version that only appears when you are forced to act without fear, without excuses, without the comfort of certainty. Awakening is the moment your identity becomes undeniable. The moment your weapon stops being a vague idea and becomes something sharp, something real, something you can trust. And that is why ego pushes them to the edge. Because only at the edge, you discover who you truly are. As for the next part, I want to present egojinpachi's method of awaken hunger inside the players. Ego announces that before the second round begins, there will be a waiting period. And during that time, every player will undergo brutal physical training. He tells them that for the entire duration, they are forbidden from touching a soccer ball. Anyone who refuses, or anyone who breaks the rule, will be expelled on the spot. Some players complain, but Ego shuts them down immediately. He tells them not to get arrogant just because they survive the lowest ranked wing. They need to do as he says so. Right now, the higher wings have already been training like this. He calls the players as weaklings and states that they should be grateful for the chance to catch up. That they need to understand how low they really are. 10 days pass. Non-stop physical strain and pushing past every limit their bodies had. All of that while not knowing when the period ends. And when the next stage is finally announced, the players drag themselves forward, eye bags under their eyes, but with a burning desire to crush whoever stands in front of them, and to finally touch a ball again. Ego greets them and compliments their physical training. Then he tears down the illusion that there are no multiple wings, no higher-ranked teams. The truth is that only Wing 5 exists. He made them believe they were at the bottom, so they would fight like animals in the first selection. The players get angry, but Ego's face turns serious. He is trying to destroy their tepid confidence. He built this entire structure, this fake hierarchy, this pressure, to force them into a mindset of hunger. He uses Noah as an example. A kid raised in poverty, someone who had no future except soccer. Someone whose circumstances forced him to develop a hunger that could swallow the world. Ego contrasts that with the players in Bluelock. If they fail in the sport, they would still survive. So he created Bluelock to give them that hunger. to simulate the pressure that shaped the greatest strikers. Then he looks at them, all exhausted, all trembling, all burning with the desire to win. He proves his point with the following words. Just now, when you walked in, you came here to destroy the ones above you, right? I'm gonna win. That's what you were thinking when you walked in, right? That hunger will become an ego that can change the world. We need to analyze this ASAP. Ego's method is cruel, but it is precise. He understands that talent without hunger is useless, that a striker without desperation stands no chance on the world stage. So he manufactures the conditions that create hunger. He removes the ball, he removes comfort, he removes certainty. He removes the illusion of progress until the players feel the one thing they cannot ignore, the need to win. Ego knows that hunger is not born from success. It is born from deprivation, from being forced to fight for every inch. The 10 days of physical training are not just about strength and endurance. They are about starvation. Starvation of the ego. Starvation of the desire to play. And when the players finally return, exhausted, sleep-deprived, but burning with the desire to crush whoever stands above them, that is when ego's method shines. Because hunger is the foundation of evolution. Hunger is the fuel of awakening. Hunger is the force that turns talent into obsession. Ego's method is simple. Take away everything until the only thing left is the desire to take it back. And that desire, that hunger, is what he believes can create the best striker in the world. The next concept is turning 1 into 100. Ego announces that the second selection begins now. He tells the players that, in the first selection, they fought to understand what it means to turn their 0 into a 1 as strikers. But on these new training grounds, they will fight to turn that 1 into 100. Once they are ready, they must enter the gate alone, one by one. The first stage is an individual battle, and once they step inside, there's no turning back. Ego warns them that the difficulty of the second selection is far beyond the first. Whatever they have done up until now means nothing if they cannot survive this. Those who relied on teammates and hid behind others will be exposed. The second selection will filter out the weak. Only the true egoists will remain. The screen cuts off, and isagi steps into an empty square room lined with panels. A ball fires out of the wall, and a hologram goalkeeper appears, the Blue Lock Man. The task is simple. Score 100 goals in 90 minutes. While the difficulty rises progressively, we switch to Ego watching the players. He explains that they redesigned the facility using the training systems of Germany's top clubs, and added ball cannons that fire from all 4 walls surrounding the players with high-resolution image panels. But the core of the room is the Blue Lock Man, an AI goalkeeper built from data gathered from the world's best keepers. A machine that reacts with precision, speed, and unpredictability. Ego calls it the environment he always dreamed of. He says that they will be transformed and become next-level strikers. With high-level ball receiving, randomly moving dummies, and constant pressure, this is a world-class front-of-goal simulation. To survive, a player needs awareness, precision, creativity, and the endurance to maintain all of that for 90 minutes. Without spirit, technique, and physical strength, they will never break through this. Ego ends with a final truth. Humans only see what they want to see. But once they gain critical consciousness, their perception, their patterns of thought, flip their entire worldview. As we analyzed the concept of 0 to 1 in my last video, 1 to 100 is its continuation. It is the difference between having potential and becoming unstoppable. 0 to 1 is discovery. 1 to 100 is mastery. Ego understands that talent alone is useless. A weapon that is never sharpened, never tested, never pushed, will never become lethal. The second selection is designed to force players into mastery, to take the small spark they found in the first selection and turn it into something undeniable, something repeatable, something that works under pressure. The room itself is a metaphor. A striker alone against chaos, balls flying from every direction, a keeper that adapts, a field that never stays still. This is the reality of elite sports. Unpredictable, fast, merciless. And Ego wants them to evolve inside that chaos, to learn how to think faster, shoot cleaner, react sharper, and endure longer. 1 to 100 is not about becoming someone new. It is about refining who you already are until your weapon becomes a part of you, until your instincts become precise, until your ego becomes unshakable. Ego's message is simple. A striker who stops at 1 will never reach the world. But a striker who pushes to 100, who sharpens their weapon again and again, who evolves under pressure, that striker becomes a force that cannot be ignored. 1 to 100 is the journey from potential to dominance. So now, as always, we arrived at the uncomfortable part of the video. The part where you need to self-reflect. The part that actually matters. Awakening, hunger, 1 to 100. None of these concepts mean anything if you treat your life the same way you always have. Awakening is useless if you keep running from the moments that would force you to ignite. You want clarity, purpose, identity. But the second life gets uncomfortable, you shut down, avoid, distract yourself, and then you wonder why nothing changes. You don't awaken because you never stay in the fire long enough to see who you are. Now for hunger. You say you want something, but you don't act like someone who wants it. Stop pretending to evolve and fooling yourself. Really confront yourself. You don't even need motivation because real hunger is obsessive. If you don't have that, then you don't want it badly enough. Let me ask you this. If you are thirsty, you don't need motivation to go grab a drink, right? And lastly, 1 to 100. Going from 0 to 1 feels exciting. But going from 1 to 100, that's where the new and exciting patterns fade. The repetition, the monotony. All of that is needed for mastery. So here's the uncomfortable truth. It might always take longer than you expected, but there is no shortcut. The only way to accelerate is confrontation and focus. Awakenings are the moments in which you discover who you are. Hunger is the reason why you move. 1 to 100 is the way to mastery. And the only question left is this. Are you going to keep pretending you want to change? Or are you finally going to act like it? Because the moment you stop lying to yourself, the moment you stop choosing comfort and distractions, the moment you decide to push, from those moments your ego is able to bloom. And whether you let it is entirely on you. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did and found some inspiration for your daily life. Like and subscribe if you haven't yet, so you won't sleep on my videos. See ya!